Alright, so let's look at number 23. Albert, read number 23 for us.
Got you, Miss. Heck. Oh, wait.
The Spanish Club.
I got that right here. The Spanish Club sent its members on 5 field trips during the school year. The number of buses needed to transport the members on each trip is a function of the number of members who went on each trip. The function consists of only the ordered pairs 21 and 2, 51 and 3, 75 and 5, 92 and 7, and 125 and 8. What is the range for this situation?
Okay, so what does range mean? The Y value. Very good. So remember your T chart. You can make a little T chart. Domains on the left, or that would be your X. Ranges on the right, that would be your Y. So all you need to do is literally just go look up your Y's on your ordered pairs, which would be the second numbers. So 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8, which is J. It's up there. Quit. Stop. Alright, so let's look at number 24. Let's read that one for us.
The table of values for quadratic function G is shown below. There's negative 9 and the solution to, and then what is the other solution?
So it says if negative 9 is a solution to G of X equals 0, so look at G of X and look up 0, okay? And what it's saying is G of X equals 0, what's that other solution? Well, negative 19 would be the other one, because they're saying that one of them is negative 9, but this is the one they gave you, which is not on the table, okay? Layla, did you understand that? Yes. G of X is the same as Y. Some of you might think of G of X as being your Y value. So if you think about it as saying Y equals 0. You look it up, there it is, and here's the solution for it. So negative 19, which would end up being C. Okay? So you just have to look up. You got to kind of understand what those symbols mean. Negative 19, yeah.
Awesome.
What number are we on?
42.
I think I need to go bring it up.
Pause.
Did it pause?
We are.
Alright, number 25. Let's look at number 25. OJ, can you read that one for us, please?
25?
Yeah.
What is the solution to the system of equations below?
Go ahead, OJ.
So what? I read it.
Read it again, yeah, please.
What is the solution of the system of equations below?
Alright, so if you look at the equations below, again, systems, that's the key word on that one. So, systems just means that there are two equations. Two equations or more they're gonna refer to it as a system. And when they want the solution, it could be either they intersect, like F and G is showing they intersect, and then H is showing it was infinite, which means it would have been overlapping lines. And then J would be if they were parallel lines. So you do need to graph these, because some of them might be infinite or no solution. So you could either graph it or you could do menu 32. Let's go ahead and graph this one since we did menu 32 on the other one. So practice with me. Again, you all need to practice what we're doing so that it can stay up here. The more you see it and practice, the better you get at it. Alright, so let's look at the equation we need to graph. The first one is 4x plus 2y. You need to use relations, yes. 4x plus 2y, and then equals to 2. Hit the tab key, and then you type in the next equation. So again, you need to be practicing with me. 3x plus y equals 4. Notice they do intersect, so it's definitely not no solution, and it's definitely not infinite solution, but we need to see menu 6-4. 4 for intersection, menu 64, find out where they intersect. So there's your solution right there. So 3, -5. G, right? G. Make sure you fill out the passage. Alright, so let's look at number 26. This one is, which expression is equivalent to 2x squared plus 9x plus 4? So, the easiest way to do those is, again, to either graph or you use a store option. You could use store for this one. You would just need to store a number for x. And then you would, enter this and then enter the answers. But on this type, I've noticed that it's best to just graph it. Find the graph that matches the problem. So graph and match. So you just basically type it into your graph app. You would just go over here.
Not in relation.
No, I would not use relations. Just type it in. So 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. And again, follow along. Practice. When you're doing the problem with me, you're more than likely to remember what to do on the actual exam. And then here, hit the tab key and then you type in each one. So one of those will match. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I think it might be that one. So let's try that one. Now, some of you, because you can factor these are your tic-tac-toe method problems. So some of you know how to do that tic-tac-toe method. That's what you can do to find your factors. Yep. So the correct answer was the last one. 2x plus 4 and x plus 4. Alright, so again, pretty easy. Graph and match. Number 27. Let's look at 27. It says the table below shows the amount of calories burned while rowing. What is the rate of change represented in the table? So what does rate of change mean? The slope. So if they want the slope, there are several things you can do. Since you have a table, probably the best thing would be to do spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and do this spreadsheet on this one, because I have not shown you an example of that. Well, let's see. Let's see if you're right. We're going to put our headings. Please make sure, you see how I have all these tabs? It's already given me like a message that I got an error. Don't forget to clear it out. Control-N. And then go back to your list. Well, we're going to see, Jose. You already said that once, so we're going to see if you're right. Trying to explain to people, like, don't blurt out the answer. That helps nobody. Like, let me show them how to do it. Now, this one is 5, 10, 15, and 20. So, 5, enter, 10, enter, 15, and then 20. And make sure you enter on each one. Sometimes you forget to enter and it won't accept it. It'll give you that message again. So then 12, 24, 36, and 48. So 12, 24, 36, and 48. And again, press enter on the last one. That's usually where people forget. Then all you need to do is menu, go to data. Well, you don't have to graph it, actually. We already know it's a linear function. So let's just go to stat calculation. And under here, you'll see the mx plus b. Here, you just need to click on that and tell it that you want the x list under the x heading. And then here, highlight the y. And then just hit OK. So there's your slope. Your m is 2.4. They might have it written as a fraction, so we'd have to look to see which one gives us 2.4. So 2.4 is what we're looking for. So let's see if 12 divided by 5 will give us 2.4. And so you go to your first app, 12 divided by 5, Control Enter, there it is. Correct answer is actually A, or the first one. F. Alright, any questions? Now, you could have subtracted, maybe, I don't know if some of you remembered this, but rate of change from a table is very simple. You just need to subtract the two numbers. You would do 24 minus 12, which is 12, right? That's your rise. And then 10 minus 5, which is 5. And that's your run. That goes on the bottom. So there's your 12 divided by 5, which would equal to 2.4 as a decimal. So there are other ways you can do this, okay, if you don't want to use this spreadsheet. Alright, so let's look at the next problem. Number 28. This one wants the x-intercept. Remember that x-intercept is where this function crosses the x-axis. So the easiest way to do this is graph it out. When in doubt, graph it out. This is definitely going to help you for this problem. So 2/3 x plus 5. Two-thirds x. Oops, don't put the x at the bottom there like I did. X, and then plus 5. So if you notice, what you want to know is where it crosses the x-axis. And that is called a 0. In the calculator, it doesn't call it an x-intercept. It calls it a 0.
So you go to menu,
Menu,
6,
6, and 1. Now, you could do 5, 1 also. That one will also work. That's the trace one. Notice this one gives you that point right there. If you use a trace, that'll work too. But you got to scroll down to the x-axis, because it always pops up over here on the y, and you got to scroll down until you get to the 0 again. So either way would work. It's just a matter of looking for that x-intercept. So let's draw a picture out. That way you kind of understand what you were looking for. You had a line that was going up like this, and what you were wanting to look for was that point right there. That is your x-intercept. So if this were a griddable, which it was, because I don't see any multiple choice, that means it would have been a negative 7.5. So this one, if you don't have that negative sign, it would count it wrong. It would be a griddable, you would have to bubble in the negative, and then the 7, the decimal, and then the 5, okay? Alright, any questions on that one? Alright, let's look at the next one, number 29.
oh, there's scatter plots.
Read that one, Albert, please.
Okay.
No, the girl's gonna be here anyway.
The scatter plot shows a relationship between the distance that students travel to get to school and the number of times those students were tardy during the school year. The principal of the school wants to use this information to help him determine if there is a relation between distance traveled and the number of times tardy. Which statement is a reasonable conclusion that the principal could make?
So does there seem to be a correlation? Because there's positive, negative, and no correlation. Does that look like a positive correlation?
No.
A negative, or like no correlation? Yeah, it's pretty scattered. So we want to look for that statement that says that there's no correlation. You guys see it right here. There's no correlation between the distance a student travels to get to school and the number of times it would be tardy. So C. So when you see the points very scattered like that, you can't really tell that if they're going up or they're coming down, then you need to pick no correlation. You should draw positive. Let's put a little example right here. Just kind of draw an example. Positive means they would be going upward. That would be considered positive correlation. Negative, the little dots would be coming downward, kind of clustered together, not too far apart from each other. They would be coming downward, and that would be a negative. And then this is an example of no correlation. So there's 3 types. Sometimes they also throw in linear. I don't know if you've ever seen linear correlation. That means they make a straight line. So you might want to write that one down as well. Quit, Albert. Whoever it is, stop. Jose, look at you. Read the next one, Cynthia, please read the next one for us.
Which set of ordered pairs contains only points that are on the graph of the function y equals 5x minus 3?
So what would be the best way to see if these points are on this graph? Graph it out. When in doubt, graph it out. That's exactly, the graph will give you the table, and you can look it up on the table. So if you think about it, all you would need to do is graph it. Let me go back to the problem, I see it right there. So which set of order, in other words, which one of these has the right points for the function? So all you would need to do is graph it. And the best place to look would be on the table. If you go to Control T, you can see the points listed there, and you'll be able to see if 1, 6 is there. Nope, 1 is with 2, so it's not A. And then you look at G, oh, I'm sorry, it's not F. And then look at 3 with 12. Let's see if that works. Okay, that one's right, but look at all of them. 7 is 32. Yep, that one's right. And then 942. You gotta look at all of them. Sometimes I'll have the first one correct and then the last one. So, yep, the second one. This one right here. So on your notes, what you can do is put graph Control T. That'll help you remember what you could have done to see those points. So write it down, please. I expect to see this in your notes when you turn in your review. And I probably won't pick it up since y'all need it over the weekend, but on Monday, before the test, they'll say, okay, give me both reviews, and that'll be for the 2 grades.
Come on, we have like 3 questions left. Is that what you was bringing for your last class?
You carry it in your pocket, hold it up, hold on to it. Alright, it is for a grade, you need to bring it. You can have a folder. They didn't say anything about not having a folder, a binder, but you cannot have a backpack. So you can still have a folder or a binder, you just can't bring a backpack. Alright, so number 31, what is the equation of the line that has an undefined slope and passes to the point 8, negative 10? If you think about Buck's point, because remember that was the way that we told you to remember your vertical lines, that's what this one is. Undefined would be the U. So V stood for vertical line. And if you look at the equation, it starts with an X. So already I can eliminate A and I can eliminate C. I just need to see which one of these would be the correct one. Yep. If you go and graph the last one, which is X equals 8, wait a minute, use relation. X equals 8, you'll see it is a vertical line. And then if you want to, you can go to the table, you can see if that point is in the graph. So 8, negative 10. Might not give us a table because it's a vertical line, but you can also go to trace. And it won't move. Why? Graph it out. When in doubt, graph it out. I don't remember. There's your X right there, so it is going to go to that one.